This video that I'm making now is not a video that I particularly wanted to make, but put yourself in my position. You see a product that you would really like to have despite its high cost. You're $200 in. You see that the product does not meet your expectations. You consider it to be defective, and yet the company does not stand by their product. They do not offer to help. Or, I guess in this case, they originally offer to help, but then they stop responding to you, and in the end, do nothing. That's the situation that I'm in with Numskull and their line of quarter arcades, mini arcade cabinets. Allow me to explain. So, quarter arcades are Numskull's line of mini arcade cabinets, and they're named such not for the quarters that these games used to take, but for the fact that they are 1/4 scale. I have included, just for size comparison here, a New Wave Toys Replicade cabinet, which is 1/6 scale by comparison. So these are pretty sizable. Anyway, taking a look at Numskull's Ms. Pac-Man here. So you may be aware of the fact that old video games like Ms. Pac-Man and Bobble, and pretty much any video games from the 1980s, to be honest, they ran at pretty low resolutions by today's standards. They usually the vertical resolution would be somewhere between 200 and 300 pixels compared to the 1080p standard of today, or even higher. Now, these LCD screens that they've been putting on these cabinets that they've been manufacturing since 2020 and 2021 or so, you can't get LCD screens that are that low resolution. They don't match the original game. So, what these little computers in here are doing is something called pixel scaling. They are scaling up the original game's image to go ahead and match the resolution of the screen that they're presented on. But it's not an exact multiple. So basically what is done is there's a little bit of blurring going on between the pixels. So you can see that things like the text and such, they're not completely sharp, but if there was no blurring like this, then you would get jagged edges and just all kinds of weird distortion. So now here's the Taito Egret Mini 2 mini arcade cabinet, which is not to scale. And you can see on this nice vibrant screen the pixel scaling hard at work, because you can see, and by the way, this is running the Japanese version of the game. You can see that the text looks exactly like it should. There are no stray jagged pixels anywhere, and in particular I want you to pay attention to the smooth movement of the characters left and right. So now I'm going to show you the screen of the Numskull Quarter Arcades Bobble, which I have right next to it here. If you look at the text, you can see there's a problem right away. The pixel scaling is completely wrong. It's not blurring the edges between, the pixels. You can even tell that there's a problem if you look at the sides. See how it kind of looks like that the walls on the sides are separated into boxes? If you check the Egret 2, it doesn't look like that at all. It just looks like a smooth wall. Now you can also see, watch as the characters move from left to right and right to left. And they look choppy when they move. Hard to tell when they're blinking with invincibility, but the animation isn't smooth. See that kind of choppy look as they move from side to side? And the text just looks awful. If you look at them side by side, I know it's harder to see on the camera here, but I mean, it's like looking at the smoothness of the animation on the Egret 2 Mini and then seeing it be all choppy there is just really disappointing. And the text, like, what's going on with the text here? Like, you can see that just does not look authentic. It's distorted all over the place. Like, you can easily see it on the high score table there. It does not look good. So, immediately after I saw this, I emailed Numskull, and by the way, they do not make their support email address easy to find. If you go to the homepage for Quarter Arcades, there is no mention of support. But I went ahead and I emailed them, and I, sent pictures. Well, actually, I didn't send pictures. I didn't need to. I described the issue, and that was on Friday, December 17th of 2021. And they replied to me the very next day, and they wrote, "Hi, it is an issue we are aware of. Unfortunately, there's no easy fix for it, and the solution will probably be to have new cabinets made, and a replacement program will be offered, but that likely won't be until 2023. So I was really hoping that they could just put out a software patch to fix this, but I guess just this hardware in particular, it's not that easy to do. And so, I was really disappointed to hear that, but I thanked them for their response, and, I let them know I would follow up later, and I would look forward to watching the 500 scroll up slowly, like watching the bubble rise. Like, you can tell there's just a big issue with this. Anyway, I figured I would get back to them, Also, you see the jagged lines there, the diagonals? This is what it looks like on the Egret 2. Just smooth diagonal lines. And look at that. Just doesn't look authentic. It doesn't look like the graphics of Bobble. So, anyway, that was December 2021. And I followed up with them. I followed up on October 10th of 2022, asking for an update. They did not reply. I replied again February 15th of 2023. I got nothing in response. On March 6th of 2023, I tried sending them a new email instead of replying to the old one. Nonetheless, I once again got no response. And on December 1st of 2023, one more time I emailed them and I got nothing back. Finally, I checked just a few weeks ago, and I noticed that they actually did release an updated version of their Bubble Bobble cabinet just last year in 2024. Presumably, the new version fixes the pixel scaling issue. I can't imagine they would have gone to the trouble of making a new version if it hadn't fixed the issue. I emailed them. It retails for $250, which is even more than the old one did. I think I paid about $200 for the old one. It might have retailed for a little less than that, but you add shipping, and they're based in the UK, and it adds up. So anyway, finally I sent them an email on June 7th, just a few weeks ago, and I said, I don't expect you to send me one for free, but asking me to pay full price for a second unit to fix a defect on the original is similarly unreasonable. I am perfectly willing to send the older one back. I have literally waited for this for years. Please let me know how you can make this right. I would buy more of your products if you can follow through. Thank you. And guess what? I got back nothing. So, they have literally ignored me for years. I suppose I could say it is annoying. Honestly, it's a shame because, the rest of the product is so nice. You've got the little light up coin slot things here. They're actually buttons that you can use to credit the game. They design nice generic artwork for the side of the cabinet. The materials are good. The control panel is very authentic looking. I love the marquee. It lights up, of course, but it's just like such a terrible issue with the screen and the graphics, and it's a huge bummer. I don't even want to play it. And, okay, so here I have the pole position My Arcade. This is not meant to be an authentic recreation in any way, shape, or form. It was $50. I bought it last year. Now, that's impulse buy range. If this thing was terrible, I would have said, oh well, whatever. $50. But actually, as it turns out, it's not half bad. Again, it's not meant to be a authentic recreation of the arcade machine, but, this cute little wheel works, and this gear shift next to it actually works halfway decently. The controls are laid out in a way where you can actually enjoy the game, and it feels good to play. So that was $50 well spent. By comparison, I spent $200 on this. And, that's not impulse buy range. That's a premium product. When you spend that much on something, you expect it to be good. You expect it to work right. You expect it to not have pixel scaling issues and look like this. So it's really troubling to me that Numskull will not support their product. And okay, so they're in the UK, I'm in the US. They're halfway across the world. I understand that it would not be feasible for them to just, okay, send us back this and we'll send you a new one. I understand. They're not like, they don't have the billions that Amazon.com does. They can't just afford to go ahead and swap. I get it. But, at least send me a coupon code so I can get the new one at a discount. Like maybe a 30-40% discount, and then I could probably sell this one to someone who doesn't care and maybe would just, put it out on a shelf as a display piece. Because it is certainly displayable if that's what you want to do with it. It looks nice. But I bought mine to actually play, and it's just a big bummer that it has this really big graphical glitch, and it sucks. But, at least give me a discount on the new one. Do something. Don't just ignore me. And my worry is that if they're not going to support this, then they're probably not going to support any of their products. Not their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4-player mini cabs, not their Space Invaders, and not whatever the heck they're working on now. So I would be extremely wary about giving money to these people, because they may just as well send you something that is flawed or defective, or not worth the $250 list price, and you will have no recourse because they will not support their products. And I would love nothing more than to go ahead and update the description of this video to say that they are now offering a replacement program and they have made it right, but they have not done that. They're ignoring my emails, and if you need support from them, they might ignore yours too. So if I were you, I would not send $250 to these folks and buy their latest products until and unless they can show that they will support the products that they have released up until now. So, anyway, sorry to be a downer, but the truth of the matter is, I love this stuff. I mean, obviously, right? I love this sort of product. And so I have high standards for them. I want them to be perfect. I want them to be, things I want to buy and continue buying. And I want to look forward to their next product. But I just, if they're, just going to take my money and not respect it, then what am I supposed to do? So, anyway, thank you for watching, and maybe support New Wave Toys instead. They're working on a skee ball machine that will actually be playable. How cool is that? So anyway, have fun and be well.